It was February
of last year that Karen Carpenter died of heart failure that's believed to have been related to her problem, anorexia nervosa. But there is an album out, a beautiful album, by the Carpenters, which is entitled Voice of the Heart. And Karen's brother Richard put this album together after his sister was gone, and it's something that her many, many fans around the world are really delighted to have. You did this with tapes that you had, which the two of you had made before she died, and then you went into the studio and completed the album.
And completed it, right.
What did you have to do? Was it tough to finish, or was it mostly
Well,
together?
Emotionally it was tough, of course. We work with 24-track recording.
Mm-hmm.
We start each of our projects by doing the basic track, usually bass, piano, drums, guitar, and Karen's leads.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there we build. So with the exception of one tune on the album that was just about complete, the rest did need to have the orchestra put on the background vocals, additional instruments.
Yeah, it must have been quite a while before you could bring yourself to go in and listen to her voice and work with it again.
Oh yeah, it was about a month, and I did give it a great deal of thought, but we got obviously an enormous response worldwide to Karen's passing, and so many people were writing about many things, of course, but one recurring request was if there were any pieces remaining, please complete, please release. And I know Karen would have wanted it, so in a way it got me through.
Did it help you to have this to do?
In a way it did. As I had mentioned, of course, emotionally it was draining, it was taxing at times, but knowing that Karen would have wanted it, knowing that her voice would be heard on these particular tunes, kind of really helped pull me through a very, very difficult period.
It was a shock to you, I know, and to the rest of the world as well, because people knew, you knew that Karen had anorexia, but everybody, I think, sort of assumed that she had conquered the problem. She felt that she was doing well. And the heart failure was a surprise, a terrible surprise.
Oh, to us all. Yeah.
How does that work? Is it just the constant drain on the body of being thin for so many years that taxes the heart? Do you know how those
Well, I don't think anyone really knows for sure, but many theories, of course, have been advanced, and the one that seems to hold the most water, so to speak, is that Karen had been dealing with a certain amount of weight for a certain amount of years, and near the end of her therapy, Karen was hospitalized and 30 pounds were put on her, and that after so many years the heart was having a difficult time really dealing with that.
Yeah. Have you had correspondence with the families of other people who have anorexia nervosa?
Oh yeah, yeah, we of course have gotten many, many letters from people who feel that they have it or know that they have it.
Have you been able to offer any words of wisdom to them?
Well, there's only so much that my family and I can say. I mean, it's out of our bailiwick, of course, and we can only go with common sense, which is to seek a qualified therapist, and definitely have that in conjunction with medical help.
Yeah.
People believe at this point in time that it is a psychological disorder, but it does play hell with the body.
Yeah.
And so an MD, an internist, what have you, should definitely be along quite a bit.
How's the rest of your family handling the release of the album? Does it help for them to hear her voice again? You've worked with it, but
yes,
what about Mother and Dad?
Yes, well, Mom and Dad are big fans, of course, and obviously it's been extremely rough on them, Karen's passing, but in a way, listening to her voice, listening to the music, really, I think, does them a world of good.
What are you going to do next? You have toured the world on behalf of the album and to talk about your sister, and that's almost over.
Yeah, well, I'm going to continue songwriting. I've been doing that for many a year, and work in a solo project, work in a production capacity, and do some touring as a solo pianist. So I'll have enough to keep me busy. It's never going to be quite the same as working with Karen,
no,
unfortunately,
of course not.
but I do want to continue.
And you're going to be giving some solo concerts?
Yeah, with orchestra and rhythm section.
That should be wonderful. Should be wonderful. As I explained, I couldn't listen to the album because the house is all torn up and the stereo set is covered with plastic and stuff, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. She had a wonderful voice.
She certainly did. Karen
Yes,
certainly
she did.
and I think you'll enjoy it a great deal.
I expect to. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Ann.
So much.
Mhm.
All right. The album is entitled Voice of the Heart, and it has been released, has it not?
Yes.
It's out?
Yes.
Okay. Next up, campus fashions to get ready for the big USC-UCLA game on this weekend.